Is this a drill or something?
What will you do when they catch you? What will you do if they break you? If you continue to fight? What will you become?
With the recent release of the first official Rogue One trailer, there's been a myriad of rumors confirmed, dispelled, and more importantly, questions raised. So I'd like to break down the trailer and give my 2 cents with my top 6 predictions based off what we've seen so far.
Yes, sir.
Now, it's only right I first talk about the main protagonist of the film, Jyn Erso, played by Felicity Jones. What we know of her is the following. She's a bit of a badass when it comes to fighting, and probably a kick-ass pilot as well. But what we officially know is Jyn was a human female soldier and former criminal. She was assigned to take part in what became the theft of the Death Star plans by Mon Mothma, a leader of the Rebel Alliance. But before I start a breakdown, I want to address a massive rumor floating around about Jyn's origins, and it's actually one I was a fan of.
I rebel.
The rumor circulating heavily was Jyn, being the right age in the timeline, hooks up with Luke Skywalker, and they have a baby at some point who turns out to be Rey from The Force Awakens. A new take on Mara Jade, and it ties things together beautifully, right? Daisy Ridley then decided to squash that somewhat, and she said, I know who Rey's parents are, and that she doesn't think that it's important to the story. She's known since The Force Awakens.
Do you know who Rey's parents are?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
When did you find out?
When we were filming 7?
Okay.
But Daisy Ridley herself, who supposedly cut down the rumor, told MTV this.
Now, what do you make of these theories going around that Felicity may play Rey's mom?
I mean, I'm not being funny, you guys, but just because she's white and got brown hair, do you
not
know
my
what
theory.
I mean? Like, it doesn't mean she's my mum.
Right.
Now that is a quote you'll probably see around the internet and most websites are showing. However, they don't show the end of said quote, where she leaves it open to interpretation. She doesn't dispel it fully.
I also don't know if that will work out time-wise, because I'm trying to think how much time has gone.
Right.
I don't know.
Do you know? I mean,
Maybe she is.
Oh, whoa.
This in no way dispels the Rey Jyn parentage rumor, but rather just asserts Daisy's opinion that she's more interested in Rey's future rather than her past, and that all white people in Star Wars may not be related, but in my experience, it's better to err on the side of caution.
It's true.
He's my brother.
I mean, I'm not being funny, you guys, but just because she's white and got brown hair, do you
not
know
my
what
theory.
I mean? Like, it doesn't mean she's my mum.
Right.
One of the big eye catchers in the teaser was Ben Mendelsohn's regal-looking Imperial officer. Many people have drawn comparisons of Ben with the late Peter Cushing, which is actually pretty accurate. But with the age disparity, uniform and rank being so vastly different, as Tarkin is a Grand Moff at this time, Ben's character's rank is shown as that of an Admiral, and he's much more reminiscent of an ISB agent with his uniform, so this theory doesn't seem very likely. But it is safe to say that there are legions of fans who believe he is Thrawn, somehow a new human take on the Chiss Grand Admiral. Now obviously the big detractor is that Thrawn making a canon appearance minus his iconic look as a Chiss may cheapen the character for fans. I mean, why take that away if he's going to be Thrawn? Though design-wise the characters do share some telling similarities, like the white uniform does definitely stand out, and physically they make a decent match, and he is an Admiral versus Grand Admiral, though Thrawn's Grand Admiral is a rank only bestowed in Legends thus far, so that could be changed to accommodate new canon, though it does seem like at the end of the day they're probably just going to draw from Thrawn, make him an ISB agent, but start fresh as they've done with most characters. I'm going to personally call this: if Disney makes Thrawn, but he doesn't retain his Chiss heritage, that's pure evil.
Evil. I'm necessary evil.
For video game fans, Rogue One is treading very familiar ground. as in the Dark Forces game where you stole, you guessed it, the Death Star plans. Now, I don't think Rogue One will directly follow Dark Forces, just as The Force Awakens was similar but not a carbon copy of Legacy of the Force. But for argument's sake, let's make a quick list of comparisons and you decide how derivative, if at all, the work is.
And how to destroy it.
Let's start with the characters. In both stories, a ragtag team of rebels must storm various Imperial bases in an attempt to steal the plans for the first Death Star. The premise is eerily similar, and it's obvious the team behind the movie were aware of Dark Forces when writing the script.
Mon Mothma, Kyle was just talking about you. No doubt.
From the trailer, it's clear that Felicity Jones' character, Jyn Erso, is no ordinary rebel. With a sharp tongue and clear history with the Empire, it's obvious that Erso is an undercover agent of some kind that's not entirely avoided any Imperial entanglements. In Dark Forces, a similarly named Jyn Erso was a double agent working for the Rebel Alliance. Before being paired with Kyle Katarn, she was discovered and imprisoned by the Empire.
Well, you certainly took your sweet time. Hey, it's okay. I'm happy to see you too.
The teaser trailer for Rogue One opens with the supposedly Imperial judge listing out Erso's crimes against the Empire.
Forgery of Imperial documents, possession of stolen property, aggravated assault, resisting arrest.
All of which sound like they were a result of having her cover blown. Even if she's not a direct adaptation, Jyn Erso is clearly heavily inspired by Jan Ors. It's also a huge hint that points towards Rogue One being every Dark Forces fan's dream movie. Thank you. Diego Luna's character is yet to be named, though no one can deny he bears a striking resemblance to Dark Forces protagonist Kyle Katarn. Questionable facial hair? Check. Refusal to wear rebel uniform? Check. A love for all shades of brown? Check. Luna's character ticks all the boxes, and the inclusion of totally not Jan Ors, the chances of him playing a version of Kyle Katarn seem extremely high. Although in a slight difference to the source material, it's great to see a possible role reversal between Kyle and Jan, with Felicity Jones' character apparently taking charge. Otherwise though, the story seems to have remained, which leads me on to, there are also hints in the second story in Dark Forces in which Kyle Katarn is sent to the Rebel Alliance to destroy the Dark Trooper program, which was capable of creating stronger, more efficient stormtroopers designed to hunt down and destroy the rebellion. While no such plot is confirmed to exist in Rogue One, it does happily tie in with the fact that we see the first Dark Trooper, aka Death Squad Trooper, which was seen in the teaser for the trailer the previous day, because apparently a photo of a Dark Trooper helmet was accidentally uploaded to Twitter by a Star Wars VIP, giving us a brief look at what to expect.
That's not good.
I don't know if it is Dark Forces, but is highly reminiscent and derivative of the story. At the very least, there are elements that parallel each other, and it's cool to see the role reversal. But again, let me know in the comments below if you guys think that this is going to be Dark Forces 2.0. And there's nothing wrong with bringing Kyle Katarn back, in my opinion. I'm just saying.
Mercenaries. I believe it was the pilot Jan Ors and her partner Kyle Katarn.
Flickering Myth is reporting they have the name of the actor who is playing Darth Vader in Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. And they said, our sources telling us that in fact British actor Spencer Wilding has been cast to play the body of Darth Vader in Rogue One, which is oddly specific, the word body, but with Spencer Wilding being the correct height at a whopping 6'7", it makes sense he could play a Darth Vader on screen under the suit. Now, it is known Darth Vader will have a big presence in the spin-off, but they stopped short of calling him the main antagonist, which begs the question, if Darth Vader himself is present in the film, but not the main antagonist, in what capacity would we see him? And as a side note, it's actually funny that with all of these Thrawn rumors, the thing that I think about when I think of Spencer Wilding is his role in Guardians of the Galaxy as a big blue alien.
Look, no feeling, Blue Swede, 1973, that song belongs to me!
Now, the big speculation in this trailer, for me personally, is twofold. Who is in the Bacta tank, and who kneels before him?
Now we're going to do something extremely fun. We're going to play a wonderful game called Who is My Daddy and What Does He Do?
Here are the biggest pieces of speculation and my own thoughts to complement them. With the presence of Imperial guards, it's pretty safe to say that it's no less than a high-ranking Imperial. Is it Tarkin, somehow damaged heavily by the rebels? Ooh. Is it Snoke, showing him after sustaining his horrific injuries? Is it Snoke as Plagueis, or, he's revealed as Plagueis, and Palpatine keeps him kneeling before him in a mock gesture of, I have you all busted up, you can't do anything in your Bacta tank. Though, who would Palpatine kneel before at this point? Honestly, it's probably no one. I can throw that out, that Palpatine is never gonna kneel.
Not from a Jedi.
But is it Palpatine himself, and Vader is kneeling down before him? Though the hood seems unlikely for Vader, that's kind of a cool thought, but is Palpatine injured? The big money is on that it's Darth Vader with someone high-ranking like an Inquisitor kneeling.
It's the traitor!
Now maybe, in the conclusion of Rebels, he is actually heavily injured once more, hence why Spencer plays his body floating in Bacta, though why wouldn't they get Hayden Christensen at that point? I mean, his frame is fitting for the suit, he's older now, maybe he's partially in the suit and partially out, I don't know, whoever it is, this is not to be taken lightly. I would die if it was Palpatine somehow injured, leaving Vader in charge for a brief time, and that would totally justify Alderaan to any Imperial. Those filthy rebels hurt our Emperor, and it was payback time when the Death Star was done, that kind of is a cool tie-in, but we'll see.
Then you will die.
Honorable mentions that gotta go to the ragtag rebel crew, which is awesome.
Aggressive and undisciplined.
This is a rebellion, isn't it?
You've got the battle-hardened merc that looks like the leader, Forrest Whitaker in his heavy armor. This sci-fi is going to be amazing. His acting is just, it's out of the park now, and I want to throw it back just for a second to Battlefield Earth in 2000. Year 2000 was not good for Forrest Whitaker in sci-fi. That aside, this seems like some mercenaries, misfits, criminals, each with their own unique skill set, hired by the government to do something. Oh shit, that sounds familiar. That's right, this is straight up the Suicide Squad of Star Wars for me, and I was really happy when I connected the two because it totally fits. I'm just waiting to see a Rogue One trailer in the style of Suicide Squad to tie it all together. I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but I'm insanely happy with this outcome. That's really cool that they're not going to be all good guys, they're going to be a bunch of badasses.
Let's play.
Come on, got some better to?
Tell me something. How are you going to have a Death Star without Tarkin at the helm? This is a question that has somewhat plagued me. An excerpt from the canon novel Tarkin states, Tarkin proved that the Emperor had been right to assign him to the project. As a reward for his efficiency, Tarkin was made the first Grand Moff of the Empire and given greater control over the project. And this was pre-Rogue One in the official timeline. So there's a Death Star in the film, which Tarkin is supposedly in charge of, and the probability of him not showing up is highly slim. I think Disney are playing this really close to their chest. However, we have seen another actor play him in the culmination of Revenge of the Sith, much like Mon Mothma's character. So, in my mind, I believe whether it's him in Bacta injured, via holo communication, or in person, we are definitely going to see Tarkin appear in some way, shape, or form in Rogue One.
Charming to the last. You don't know how hard I found it signing the order to terminate your life.
They must be saving him for just another trailer, but whatever happens, fingers crossed, there's some Steven Stanton voicing Tarkin, because there's no real actor that I've seen in the lineup that is going to play Tarkin outside of Ben Mendelsohn, which is kind of dispelled. So my number one piece of speculation is Tarkin is around, but where and why haven't they shown him? But again, Vader hasn't been shown. They've also talked about the fact that there's going to be bounty hunters. I think they're going to piecemeal it out and give us these little kind of tidbits or things to get excited, and that's exciting in itself, but I'm definitely waiting to see Vader and Tarkin officially with some bounty hunters. But the beauty of this video is it's just the start of the discussion. Our love for Star Wars, it surrounds and it binds us together, so let me know in the comments below, what do you think we're going to see in Rogue One, because I'm excited to talk about it and learn from you guys, because if you love Star Wars, I want to talk to you about it. It's as simple as that.
The rebel base.
Dantooine. They're on Dantooine.
There, you see, Lord Vader, she can be reasonable. Continue with the operation. You may fire when ready.
What?
You're far too trusty.
If you want to stay up to date with the latest Star Wars videos on origins, games, and theories, don't forget to use those force powers of yours and hit subscribe. And hey, leave a comment below about what you want to see in future videos. It may just get covered. Thanks for watching, and may the force be with you. Always.